subscribe to the channel, and hit like so you don't miss any new scary stories. The Curse of the Old School Jack. Emily and Ben were best friends, attending an old middle school in the small town of Riverdale. The school was built in the early 20th century and had been serving as a place of learning for local children for many years. However, it also had a dark reputation. People said it was haunted by the spirit of a long-deceased student. It was the end of the school year, and the kids were preparing for their final exams. One evening, they stayed late at school to study for their history test. When it got dark, Emily suggested, "How about we check out the legend of the ghost?" Jack and Ben exchanged skeptical looks, but curiosity got the better of them. They decided to explore the old, abandoned wing of the school, which had been closed for repairs for a long time. Walking through the main corridor, they reached an old door covered in dust and cobwebs. Jack pushed the door open, and it creaked loudly. Inside, it was dark and cold. Their flashlights illuminated a long corridor, the walls covered with faded posters and rusty lockers. Suddenly, Ben heard a whisper. "Did you hear that?" he asked, but Jack and Emily just shrugged. They continued their way and reached the old chemistry lab. Dusty flasks and test tubes lay on the tables. Emily noticed a book lying on one of the tables. When she opened it, she found an old school yearbook. On the first page was a photograph of a group of students and the inscription, "Class of 1943. Among the faces, Emily recognized one boy who was the subject of the legends. His name was Tommy. He died under mysterious circumstances, and since then, it was said that his spirit haunted the school. Suddenly, Jack's flashlight flickered, and they heard a knock. Turning around, they saw the lab door slowly closing on its own. Emily screamed, and they rushed to the door, but it slammed shut with a loud bang. "We're trapped!" Ben shouted. Jack tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. At that moment, they heard a child's laugh coming from a dark corner of the room. "Who's there?" Jack yelled, trembling with fear. A silhouette of a boy in old-fashioned school clothes appeared in the corner. His eyes glowed with a sinister light. "You disturbed my peace," he said in a raspy voice. "Now you will become part of this school forever." The kids watched in horror as Tommy's spirit approached. Jack remembered the book and rushed to it. On one of the pages was an entry about a banishment ritual. Emily and Ben began reading the words of the ritual aloud, despite their fear. Suddenly, the room filled with light, and the ghost began to vanish, letting out a piercing scream. The door flew open, and the kids darted out of the lab without looking back. They ran down the corridor until they found themselves outside, under the streetlights. Their hearts were pounding, but they were safe. From that day on, Jack, Emily, and Ben never returned to the old wing of the school. They vowed never to speak of that night again and to never disturb the peace of old legends. The final day, a haunting tale of prom night. In the small town of Willow Creek, the prom at Maplewood High School was the event of the year. Everyone looked forward to it, especially the king and queen of the prom, Adam and Lily. They were the golden couple, admired by all, but little did they know that their reign would end in terror. The night of the prom arrived, and the school gymnasium was transformed into a fairy tale ballroom. Adam and Lily arrived in style, greeted by cheers and applause. As they danced the night away, they felt like royalty, their happiness seemingly endless. But as the clock struck midnight, signaling the end of the prom and their time as king and queen, strange things began to happen. The music faltered, the lights flickered, and a chill swept through the room. Adam and Lily laughed it off at first, thinking it was just a prank. But then they noticed something unsettling. Everyone else in the room had frozen in place, as if time itself had stopped. "Adam, what's happening?" Lily whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "I don't know, but we need to get out of here," Adam replied, his heart pounding in his chest. They tried to leave, but the doors were locked, trapping them inside the gym. Panic began to set in as they realized they were alone in the eerie silence. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the room, cold and menacing. "You have been chosen," it said, sending shivers down their spines. Adam and Lily looked around frantically, but there was no one there. The voice seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. "What do you want from us?" Adam called out, his voice echoing off the walls. "We seek vengeance," the voice replied, sending a chill down their spines. For the sins of the past. They racked their brains trying to think of what they could have done to deserve this punishment. But before they could come up with an answer, the room began to change around them. The fairy tale decorations faded away, replaced by darkness and decay. The once glamorous ballroom now resembled a haunted castle, with crumbling walls and cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. Adam and Lily stumbled backwards in horror, realizing they were trapped in a nightmare. They tried to run, but the room seemed to stretch out endlessly, leading them in circles. As they wandered through the labyrinthine corridors, they heard whispers in the darkness, taunting them with their worst fears. Shadows lurked in the corners, watching their every move with malevolent intent. Hours passed, or maybe it was days. Time seemed to lose all meaning in the endless darkness. Adam and Lily grew weak and weary, their spirits broken by the relentless torment. But just when they thought they couldn't go on any longer, they saw a glimmer of light in the distance. With renewed hope, they stumbled towards it, desperate for escape. As they emerged from the darkness, they found themselves back in the gymnasium, the fairy tale decorations restored to their former glory. The clock struck midnight once again, and the music resumed as if nothing had happened. But Adam and Lily knew better. They had seen the true darkness that lurked beneath the surface, and they would never be the same again. As they left the prom, hand in hand, they vowed to never speak of what had happened that night. But deep down, they knew that the memory would haunt them forever, a reminder of the horrors that can lurk behind even the most innocent of facades. Whispers in the shadows, the haunting of Hollow Hill High. Deep within the heart of the tranquil town of Hollow Hill, where the misty tendrils of fog danced among the ancient oaks and whispered secrets lingered in the air, stood Hollow Hill High School. Despite its idyllic facade, the school harbored a darkness that cast a chilling pall over its halls. It all began with the enigmatic disappearance of Sarah Miller, a radiant and beloved student whose laughter once echoed through the corridors like music. One fateful autumn evening, as the mist rolled in from the surrounding woods, Sarah vanished into the night, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and a community gripped by fear. Months passed, but the specter of Sarah's disappearance loomed over Hollow Hill High like a shadow, casting a pall of unease over the once peaceful town. Whispers of her fate drifted through the hallways like ghostly echoes, fueling rumors of foul play and sinister forces at work. Among those haunted by Sarah's vanishing were Jake Thompson and Emily Roberts, childhood friends whose lives became intertwined with the mystery. Jake, a steadfast and pragmatic athlete, and Emily, a curious and empathetic artist, found themselves drawn into a web of secrets and lies that threatened to consume them. As strange occurrences plagued the school, doors slamming shut of their own accord, lockers rattling in the dead of night, and chilling whispers echoing through empty corridors, Jake and Emily sensed that there was more to Sarah's disappearance than met the eye. Determined to uncover the truth, they embarked on a perilous journey into the heart of darkness that lurked within their school's walls. Their investigation to unearth a tangled web of secrets and lies that stretched back through generations, revealing a dark history of tragedy and loss hidden beneath the surface of their seemingly ordinary town. They discovered whispers of a curse that had plagued Hollow Hill for centuries, demanding a sacrifice to appease its insatiable hunger. Armed with newfound knowledge and a sense of impending doom, Jake and Emily ventured deeper into the shadows, confronting the malevolent force that lurked within their school. But as they delved deeper into the darkness, they realized that some secrets were too powerful to be uncovered, and some curses too ancient to be broken. In a final, heart-stopping showdown, Jake and Emily faced off against the darkness that had haunted their town for generations, risking everything to banish the evil that threatened to consume them. With bravery and determination, they fought to save their school and their town from the grip of darkness, forging a bond that would endure even in the face of unimaginable horrors. As the first light of dawn broke over Hollow Hill, Jake and Emily emerged victorious, their hearts heavy with the weight of all they had lost. But as they looked out over the quiet town, they knew that the echoes of dread would linger long after the darkness had been vanquished, a chilling reminder of the price of uncovering the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows.